Hi, thank you for joining us again for Winter Prep Wednesday. My name is Rachel and I'm joined by David, and we're going to be going over some car tips for this winter. And it's actually perfect because my cousin called me because she just moved up north and she has no idea what to do in the snow.
And do you know anything about snow? Have you ever seen snow?
Nope, never seen snow.
Never snow. Oh boy. So you're going to learn something today, hopefully, as well as your cousin, as well as those people that are watching. So I think the first thing you want to understand when you're getting your car ready for the wintertime is really there's nothing you need to do abnormally from your normal maintenance schedule. So if you're following your manufacturer's recommended schedule, you should be fine and you don't have to go out and do anything abnormal from that. But so with that said, you do want to make sure a few things are ready and prepped properly for the cold weather and also for the inclement weather. So the first thing is your battery. If your battery is more than 3 years old, you probably want to have it tested. Okay. You can call AAA and we'll come out and test it for you because you don't want to find yourself stranded. Either you're running errands or you're at your office or even at home and you're running late, you got to take the kids somewhere. All of a sudden you go to crank it and it's nothing just because it's cold. So go ahead and prepare yourself and have that tested.
Does the weather actually affect your battery?
It does. The cold weather will make the battery work a little bit harder. So you do want to make sure that it's good. And typically, the batteries are good around 4 to 5 years, but anywhere after that 3-year mark is really when you want to have them tested and make sure that they are working and they're optimal performance for you.
Well, you said they're working harder, so does that mean they're going to die quicker in the winter?
Well, no, not necessarily, because it just takes more energy to start it up in the winter time, but then it's all brought back through the charging system and the battery is then replenished, so you're okay there. I think the next thing we want to take a look at is your tires. Okay. So if you join me out front here, what I want to talk about are tires. So if you look at tires, you got 4 tires. They're on the side of they're what give you the pavement or connection to the pavement. So if you look at it, this tire is worn pretty well on the inside, but not everywhere. So you want to do a visual inspection of the tire. And then if you look at the tread, there's a couple things you want to note about the tread. One of it is it's very easy to check. And there are a couple conversations that are going on our Facebook page. One of them would be the penny. Do you use a penny to check the tread depth, or do you use a quarter? Well, if you look at the penny and you just place the penny right into the tread, that indicates it's about 2/30 seconds. That's the legally minimum allowed tread that you're allowed to have when driving on a road. If you look at a quarter, that's 4/30 seconds. So this tells you, hey, guess what? It's about time for a set of tires, so I want to go ahead and start pricing them and prepare them. Also, your stopping distance is considerably less as the tread wears. So when you go from 4/30 seconds to 2/30 seconds, your optimal performance of stopping and your stopping distance is now greater as the wear on the tire does. So you want to do a visual inspection of all 4 tires, and you want to check the tread in different locations, not just on one side or another. So again, I recommend using the quarter. It's a lot better. It gives you a better understanding of when you're going to need a set of tires, because if you're using a penny and you can see Lincoln's head, it's already too late. You need a set of tires. So that's your other big important thing that you want to focus on.
I know that you can get snow tires. Should you do that?
You could. I think for most people, all season tires, summer, winter, are good. Where you get into some areas in the northern climates and the higher elevations, snow tires are good. I think you also want to focus on what your state laws are regarding chains, because a lot of people use chains in those higher elements.
If you're just joining us, my name's Rachel, and we have David here going over how to winter prep your car.
So if you have any questions as we're going through anything, we ask that you drop them in the comment section.
So what's the next thing we should think of when we're getting our car ready for the winter?
Those are really the 2 main things that I want people to focus on, their battery and their tires. The other thing that I think a lot of people overlook is the outside appearance of the vehicle. I think it's a good idea to have the vehicle detailed right before wintertime, because this will help protect the paint. And then again, after you go through a snowstorm and slush and things like that, and it's a nice day out, run it through a car wash. Get all of that stuff off your car as soon as possible. And then right after wintertime, go ahead and have it detailed again to ensure your paint is always protected. But I think it's just one thing that a lot of people don't think about. They're always thinking about, hey, I should go ahead and have my car detailed when it's really nice out.
Right.
Not necessarily true. You want to protect the paint at all times, and having the car detailed properly twice a year is probably your best bet.
So it's a preventative maintenance to wax your car before.
Very much so.
And then afterwards, you would do that again to get the salt off
Yep.
and all the chemicals they use to melt the ice?
Correct. Yep,
Okay.
exactly. That's what I would be looking at doing. So
Perfect.
those are really the three things I'd focus. The fourth one would probably be wiper blades. You want to make sure that the wiper blades are good, they're clean. And when you put on your windshield wipers, they don't streak. Also, if you look at them, are they laying down or are they upright? If they're
Right.
laying down, they're probably worn, so you want to go ahead and replace those. But that's another preventive thing because you want to make sure at all times the visibility of your vehicle is very important. So if you think about it, it's your charging system, your tires, and then also your visibility. Those are probably the three biggest things for safety reasons.
I know that there's also winter wipers. Should you consider investing in those?
You could, in some of the extreme areas, you could use winter wipers. Not necessarily. I think as long as you watch them and you make sure that they're in good shape, you clean them, you wipe them down, I think that's a good idea to do.
What about the windshield wiper fluid? Do they have something specific for the winter? Does it freeze?
Yeah, and I think that's a great question. It does freeze. If somebody just topping it off with water, that will freeze in colder climates.
Okay.
So you do want to use windshield washer fluid. Okay. If you go to your local auto parts store, they have the proper type of windshield wiper or windshield washer fluid in there. I think if you have, and if you need to have your vehicle serviced, either tires, your electricity, or your battery, you want to go ahead and take it to one of our approved auto repair facilities. And if you don't know where one of those is located, you can visit our website at AAA.com//auto repair, where we have a list of about 7,000 facilities in North America.
Denise wants to know, what is the best way to defrost your windshield?
So that's always a great question. And it's actually one of the most popular articles that we have on our website. So I think I'd refer to a lot of people to go take a look at the website. You can find that article at AAA.com//auto repair, and it'll go through the proper process. But really, you want to use your defroster and you want to use heat to get that through. And the big thing is you also, as that's happening, start the car, go ahead and have the defroster working as you clean off the car. Make sure you clean off as much snow and ice as you can, and you want to make sure that when you're driving the vehicle, you're not just in that little window of clarity and going like this, waiting for the rest of it to clear up. You want to be safe. Take your time, make sure that you can clearly see it. But we have a great article on that on our website.
Perfect.
So, so those are the main things that I wanted everybody to think about as they're prepping their car for winter. But now as you're getting ready to drive,
right.
and you never know, you may come across a snowstorm. Something may happen, maybe ice on the road that you swerve somewhere. There's a couple things you want to make sure that you have in your car at all times. And that's really just kind of an essential survival kit or emergency kit. And some of those important things are like bottled water, some snacks. I think it's a good idea to have those. Also, a first aid kit is good to have. Battery with extra flashlights. I think a cell phone charger. You can kind of see those. Those are the external flashlight or cell phone chargers that are very good to have because that at least gives you some extra battery charge for your phone. Because one of the biggest things we always hear when somebody calls is, "Hey, my car's broken down and my cell phone's ready to die."
That's me.
So it's a great, that's you. So there you go. So always have one of those handy and fully charged.
Tiffany wants to know, does the cold weather affect fuel efficiency?
It does not. I mean, it's a good question, but it really does not. As long as your vehicle is operating normally, you don't have a check engine light. And if you want to know about those, we had a previous warning light last Wednesday. But as long as the vehicle is operating properly, your gas mileage is good, there's not going to be any difference in performance between cold weather or warm weather.
And where should some of this stuff be located in your car?
So I think that's a great question. So some of it is, the bottled water, your snacks, your external or cell phone charger. Those are good to keep in your glove box. I think also some other elements that you want, an extra pair of gloves and a hat. I'd keep those in the car too, not necessarily in the trunk and or in the cargo area because you don't want to have to get out of the car to get those.
Right.
You want it to stay as warm as possible, which is a good reason why you have a blanket, because that'll keep you warm. So I think those are where you keep those elements. The emergency kit, which AAA does sell, you can find that on AAA.com or your local district office. Those can be kept more in the cargo area or the trunk because you're not going to be needing them immediately right there.
You already answered this, but again, we can go over this because I think it's important.
Okay.
Chelsea asks, is it true that you should change your tires for the winter snow?
No, it's not something that you have to do. Again, it's about checking the tread. Is the tread good? Are they, so you go through with that quarter test, make sure you have at least 430 seconds on there that you can see Washington's head. That's the big thing that you want to do. But you don't really necessarily have to change out from all season tires just to winter tires. Now again, that could depend on the climate that you are. If you see a lot of snow, you may want to consider that. But again, you also should think about, hey, can I use chains? And can I put chains on my car? Again, know what your state laws are regarding that because everybody's a little bit different.
Is this kitty litter?
It is kitty litter. And it's non-clumping kitty litter, which is pretty important. So I think what you like to do with this, and since you're fairly new to the snow, as you said, it's really to help put underneath the tires to help gain traction because there's ice and there's snow and your tires need something to grab onto. And when there's snow and ice, it makes it a little bit more difficult to grab onto those.
Nancy wants to know, how long should I wait to warm up the engine or start driving?
Well, it really, as soon as you start it up and as long as you can see clearly out of all of the windows, you can go ahead and start driving. You don't want to sit there and wait for about 5 minutes for the engine to heat up. That's just really wasting gas. The vehicle will actually warm up quicker as you drive it down the road, more so than you just sitting there waiting for it. So what I would say is if you know that there's ice and things on your windshield, start up the car, put on the defroster, and go ahead and start cleaning all the windows. And by the time you're done doing that, you should be able to go ahead and drive the vehicle and be able to clearly see. But it's really about making sure that you're safe and you have good visibility all the way around.
Oh, this was a question that relates back to our old video.
Okay.
Laura wants to know, does the cold affect tire pressure?
It does. So you're going to see the tire pressure warning light come on. That's the yellow one with some little rib lines and an exclamation point. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and make sure that your tire pressures are properly inflated. Where you find your tire pressure, pressure that you should have is on the inside of the door jamb of your front door or in your owner's manual. Do not go by what's on the tire itself. That's really a load capacity rating. You want to know what's going to give you the best performance and also a smooth ride. So that's why you want to go ahead and go by the manufacturer's specifications for tire pressures.
I have a question.
Okay.
How do you know if your tires are all-season tires? Or
It's going to say it on the sidewall.
Okay.
Typically it'll say like a W and an S, winter and summer.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of how, or it'll say all performance or all season. So again, I think if you're looking for some of this information, you can take a look at our website at AAA.com/auto repair, where we have a lot of articles and a lot of information about car care. So what else you have? Any other questions?
Well, this one doesn't really relate to the snow, but
Okay.
how do you use your defroster? Because I can never get that thing to unfog my window. So I'm driving with my windows down, my head out the window.
So, okay, well, I don't think you want to drive with your head out the windows when it's 30 degrees outside or 25 because you really freeze. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and turn on the defroster, turn it all the way to heat,
Okay.
and turn the fan up, and then that'll allow it to go through and clear that. Again, do not drive your vehicle until the windows are clear and you have clear visibility all the way around. Put on your rear defroster, which in a lot of cases, the newer vehicles will also clear out the side view mirrors.
Perfect.
I think another good tip to have is if you have a portable shovel is also a good idea. Not only just having your kitty litter, but just in case you have to dig yourself out of a snowbank or you get stuck, you can do a little bit of digging. And they sell portable shovels in a lot of different places, which is another reason why a tarp is a good idea.
Right.
So again, being prepped, being prepared for the inclement weather is always a good idea. And these are things you need to think about as the cold weather comes upon us.
But you should never leave your car, right?
No, I would say if all of a sudden you run into a snowbank or you break down, I would say the best place for you to be is to stay inside your car, call AAA for help. We'll come get you. But you don't want to go out into the elements where you don't know where you're at and you could freeze, you could have some other issues happening. Stay at your car, wait for somebody to come rescue you. You have a blanket, you have some extra, some garment or clothing, bottled water, some snacks, and I think that'll help a lot.
Mary wants to know, should you check your oil more often in the winter?
No, you don't need to check your oil, your fluids. You just want to go ahead and follow your manufacturer's specifications for vehicle service. That's all you need to do. Now, if all of a sudden you're seeing underneath your car a puddle of oil, or you're seeing different, or a puddle of fluid, it could be coolant, it could be oil, transmission fluid, power steering fluid, then you want to have that taken in to have it serviced. Have somebody look at it to ensure that there is no issues with it. But you don't have to change your oil more often. So it's all about how often, your manufacturer's recommendation.
Okay. I don't think we have any more questions today. Thank you so much for joining us. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comment box below.
And if you like information like this, again, please stop by and visit our website at AAA.com/auto repair, where not only do we have a lot of vehicle information, we also have a listing of our approved auto repair facilities. There are over 7,000 of them in North America for you. We also have a repair cost estimator. So if you wanted to get an idea of what a potential repair could cost, you could go in there and select your year, make, model of the vehicle along with the repair that you're looking to do, let's say front brakes or have an alternator replaced, and it'll give you a rough estimate of what it's going to cost. It's not going to give you a guaranteed price, but it'll give you a nice rough estimate on it.
Perfect. And we want to hear from you. If you like these videos and you have something that you want us to talk about, put it in the comment box below. Stay safe this winter. Thank you so much again for watching.
Thank you.